Hey YouTube, how the heck are we doing? It is Foul Play here and we're back for another modern video. Apologies for my leave of absence as of recent. I've just been pretty busy in life and struggling to find time to make content. But we're here today to play Green White Bogles. So I feel like this has a pretty good matchup into the Ragavan decks, particularly if you run the 4 of Sentinel's Eyes. So Sentinel's Eyes gives you vigilance, so you're going to be able to attack and block the Ragavan and everything's all good. You're going to want to pair this with something that makes your creature have 3 toughness or have first strike. So obviously we've got Ethereal Armor, Hyena Umbra, and Spider Umbra there, as well as double Sentinel's Eyes getting the job done. Other than that, I've dropped down the creature count a little bit. I've dropped down the 2 drops, so we're going to go for 1 Fluffy Paws and 2 Core Spirit Dancers, and we've upped the number of Spirit Mantle to 3. Another change I made was I moved 1 Beside You from the main deck to the sideboard, adding in the 4th Temple Garden. For the sideboard, we've got Beside You, Veil of Summer. So Veil of Summer is going to look to protect our creatures after an ability like Dress Down or an activation from Shadow Spear. Hushbringer in there for elemental decks. Unfortunately, it seems like the life gain is just a little bit too much from Omnath at the moment for me. And additional to that, I haven't really seen them running that much creature removal. Their creature removal is mostly Fury from what I've seen. So Hushbringer should be a pretty free board in. For Graveyard Hate, we've got double Rest in Peace and a 1 of Endurance. I would probably have that the other way around, but my rental limit doesn't quite allow for it. We got the Gadok Teague, which is going to be really, really good against Tron and also Control decks. Control decks running Prismatic Ending as removal right now. All we're going to have to look out for after that is pretty much 3 mana to Fairy. But I'm excited about it. And then to finish it off, we've got 3 Leyline of Sanctity to protect against discard, and 2 Force of Vigor to deal with opponents' artifacts. Okay, here we are for match number 1, versing Rogue Phoebo. We won the die roll, going to be on the play. Our opponent is an Obosh Dex, and we have no creature. We're going to mulligan. This looks a lot better. We'll keep and we'll bottom a land. I'm going to ditch Horizon Canopy for now, on the off chance we need to search out Dryad Arbor. Obviously, if we draw a land for our next draw step, that's going to enable it. Opponent goes Den of the Bugbird into Relic, passes to us. Hey look, land, let's go. So we get to throw down. And next time we're going to get to Daybreak plus hold up Dryad Arbor, which is pretty nice. Opponent land and pass. Oh goodness. I'm very sorry, opponent. I'm not sure what's going on with your hand at the moment, but we're going to keep doing Bogle things and look to smack in. I suppose the worst case scenario would be our opponent going and playing in an Ensnaring Bridge in this next turn. That seems unlikely for an Obosh deck though. There's a Blast Zone. Oh, we need like 1 aura to not make it a turn late. He's going for Blood Moon. So we have an option here to get Dryad Arbor, put our opponent to 1. Or we can get a Forest or a Plains. Let's go ahead and grab Forest. We can play Bogle anyway. I think 2 is as good as 1 anyway, given we've got Trample. I still think the likelihood of Ensnaring Bridge is unlikely from our opponent. This also gives us, if we draw a Beside You, we can destroy the Blood Moon. Definitely being on the play has helped this game. Opponent concedes. Let's go. Alright, so we're going to bring in Force of Vigor plus Beside You. That's 3 cards. I'm going to look to take out a Core Spirit Dancer and probably 2 Path to Exiles here Till we know more of what's going on, that seems good to me. Alright, another no creature hand, so we're going to mulligan. Not looking much better. Alright, we're in dire straits now. We'll keep this. We've got a bottom 3 cards. Alright, so bottom the 2 Sentinels and the Dryad Arbor. Keep Bogle plus Ethereal. And obviously Force of Vigor for if things get out of hand. Hey look, we draw a way to get a basic plains. That's not bad. Opponent leads on the Spiked Cave. Plays the Shrine and passes. Hey look, we draw our other basic. Okay, we're pogging out right here. Don't mind that. Obviously we do need to hit auras from this point or things can be problematic, but step number 1, we've got past Blood Moon. That's all I can say. Opponent casts Trinisphere. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and search my planes anyway. Just because he's playing Trinisphere this turn does not mean that he's not going to play Blood Moon next. Look, this enables us to cast our Spirit Mantle and we can start beating in for 4. Oh, that's an annoying one. Our opponent slows rolls the Blast Zone here. I guess we're going to attack and then we'll see how long it takes our opponent to pop this bad boy. Alright, not long at all. Well, that's frustrating. Hopefully we can draw out of this one, but likely not. Opponent plays Chandra. Alright, doesn't seem like a particularly impressive Chandra to me, but maybe I'm missing something. Hits us for 1. And adds a mana. Ooh. So we can get Dryad Arbor here. It's pretty bad against opponent having removal. I probably should have left this uncracked. I'm going to get Temple Garden for now. It was definitely a mistake cracking there. Alright, well we find a Bogle anyway. And we pay 3 mana for that Bogle. It's possible I should have held off on Bogle there. If my opponent jams Blood Moon here, it gets awkward because we can't cast the Force of Vigor. Looks like he's going for something else. Alright. And Legion Warboss. So opponent's committed a lot of what they're doing to the board. We're going to look to deal with their artifact and enchantment next turn. Daybreak Coronet is good. We can't jam it just yet. Need another aura. Opponent discarding Ragavan and Lightning Bolt to the trigger. Opponent pluses Chandra, revealing another Chandra. So it's going to be basically dead unless I want to downtick loyalty. Here is the Fury. No targets. Alright, an opponent with a bunch of attacks here. We'll go ahead and force. Hopefully draw aura to stay in this. We do draw an aura. Lovely. Opponent, remember, double strike, so essentially both creatures have first strike here. We're fine attacking into that though. Cool. Alright, opponent finds Fury off of the Chandra active. That's a frustrating one. Entered the Exile Zone, he chose not to play it. That's bizarre. What else has he got? Okay, maybe he did decide to play it because he's still got 2 cards in hand. Double Fury is going to be difficult. We're going to need to rip another Aura, and that's a lot of favourable draws in a row. Opponent has to attack with this Goblin though, so we get a nice block in. I'll take that at this stage. Double Fury is absolutely terrifying. Core Spirit Dancer. I think we hold off on doing anything. We've got a pretty safe life total right now. Yeah, we'll keep her safe and use her as a draw engine when we hit an Aura. Alright, opponent ultis the Chandra. 5 cards in exile. Magus of the Moon. Oh, you pug. So then there's Bone Crushers and some other Chandras. I've got a 5 mana Chandra in here. Chandra of Heartfire. Looks like they are casting Chandra of Heartfire. And that's dealing some damage to us. Casting Magus of the Moon. Alright, more damage. And, alright, well, still if we hit like Ethereal Armor, Spirit Mantle, something like that, we might be in okay shape as long as we survive this turn. I think he kills us on damage though by attacking all out. Alright, here comes the attack. So we block a Fury, that's blocking 6 damage and gaining 5 life. He'll obviously be dealing 6 damage with the other Fury, plus all this side damage here, so we're going to be well and truly dead, unfortunately. If we played the Core Spirit Dancer, maybe we would have been able to chump block another one and live. So I suppose 18 health was not good enough, and we should have, yeah, should have played the Core Spirit Dancer. So they do have Planeswalker actives. I don't think that changes anything here. We know about Blast Zone as well. That's a bit irritating. Hopefully beside you can deal with that, or we hit Totem Armor. Gaddock Teeg can stop him from playing the big Chandra, but it's really weak against Fury, and I think we just want to avoid it. Hushbringer could be an efficiency swap for against Fury. Sure, let's bring in our Hushbringers. Alright, we see this hand. We got Hushbringer. We got Totem Armor. We got double Hushbringer. And we can get a basic. Alright, I think this is a keep. It's weak to Lightning Bolt, but hopefully they don't have 2 Lightning Bolts. Obviously, Plains off the Windswept Teeth, and we'll just conserve as much life as we can. Oh, opponent with the Ragavan. So the one thing I don't want to have happen is my opponent with Ragavan to rip a Spirit Mantle off the top. Of course, now that I've said it, you know what will happen. So I can't justify blocking into what's potentially a Lightning Bolt deck. Otherwise, my second creature's just gone as well. Opponent finds Daybreak Coronet, so that's a dead one. That's perfect. And there's the Blood Moon. Alright. Luckily, we got some white auras in hand here. Gross. Ragavan leads to turn 2 Blood Moon. That's absolutely revolting. Alright, we'll get in there. Of course, now we have a good blocker for against Ragavan, so we'll take that part. opponent chooses not to attack. Alright, we'll keep dropping down some mana sources here, building up our guy, going for a big attack. Alright, opponent plays 1 stomp. And a Spikefield Hazard. Alright, opponent gets that Hushbringer. We do have another one, but I am worried about how much our tempo has been interrupted now. And attacks. What opponent finds? Horizon Canopy? Okay. He probably plays that for the card draw. No, he already played a land pre-combat. Weird. Into this. Alright, we find Griffspoon. We'll play our guy and look to reset the board state. Opponent gets to see essentially 3 new cards to find some description of removal here. Discarding Blood Moon and a Mountain. Alright, opponent strips away our plains. That one hurts. So pretty much we need to find A forest or B a Force of Vigor here. I think we probably end up losing this one. It's a bit unfortunate. I think if we had a hexproof creature hand, we would have won, so maybe I should have mulliganed. Alright, go ahead and tuck with Hushbringer here. I did not see the card exiled by my opponent's Ragavan then, but I guess it's that Windswept Tooth. Because, yeah, Horizon Canopy was exiled the turn before that. Oh, and opponent finds Horizon Canopy to gear up on Ragavan. We find the land. Alright, I'm going to pack this one. We got one more turn. Alright, we'll attack in. Likely next turn, Hushbringer is chump blocking. Opponent goes Obosh to hand and plays Obosh. So that's going to be lethal here with the creatures on board. I should have seen that and chump block the Ragavan. I don't think it would have made a huge difference though, because then we still can't play Bogle and we're still very, very dead. Alright, unlucky. It's like a bit of a shame because game 1 went so well and then games 2 and 3 went so poorly. I definitely think we could have won game 3 in a better spot there. Alright, versing another opponent with a companion deck, Obligated Marlin, running Gigantha. Our hand looks good. We're going to keep a Thoughtseized deck. You fucking kidding me? No. Ragavan. Alright, cool. We have a chance. This is a misplay on the land from me. I should be going Horizon Canopy here on the off chance I need Dryad Arbor into like a Liliana. So that was loose. Alright, no blocks from me. Opponent finds his Sentinel's Eyes and he can start bulking up this Ragavan if he so pleases. I think making a chunkier Ragavan would be good, but he goes for Thoughtseize instead. So Daybreak is an obvious take here for my opponent. If he's got a second Thoughtseize in hand, he might take the Hyena Umbra to deny first strike. Looks like he goes for Daybreak though. We draw a second Hyena Umbra anyway though. Alright, so gear up. And we'll just look to block here and slow our opponent down. Oh, they had land. So we can put our opponent to 11 here. If we draw land, we have another 9 damage. That's less than a 2-turn clock. Sorry, that's a 3-turn clock. If we just leave up chump blockers this turn and then double, triple equip, that's still a 3-turn clock. A 2x9. So, yeah, opponent continues to be land screwed. And yeah, that's a lot of Rancor. I love the extra power that Rancor gives in this spot. It's fantastic. Death Shadow? Oh, Jesus. We'll take. We will very hesitantly take. Opponent finds Sentinel's Eyes. Lame as heck. Equipping to Death Shadow. That's right. We've got to play around this. Alright, so we attack here. Our opponent has to block. And then, now this next bit's really important. We need to assign all the damage to Death Shadow. If we trample damage, it will simultaneously grow his Death Shadow's power and toughness. And it will stop it from dying. Well, that's awkward. He's just got the fetch shock. You know what? I did not even see the fact my opponent had a fetch land up there. Alright, let's cycle Horizon Canopy now. What I should have done earlier. Oh, alright. I hope we don't lose off that, because that was a pretty shit misplay on my part. Okay, we lose. Alright, I misplayed that hard. Cool. Shame concession. Alright, so opponent has Thoughtseize. We're going to bring in our ley lines. They also have Death Shadow. I'm not as concerned about Ragavan. Yeah, I think we bring in Leyline and we probably take out our 2 mana creatures. Maybe our Beside You. I'll leave in 1 Fluffy Paws and we'll get to it. I know I hate keeping 7-card hands and even 6-card hands. Alright, let's go. Keep. Alright, so we probably want Vigilance. Bottom. Alright, that's a pretty good looking 5. We stop any additional effects that screw over our life total, and we get a creature down with Vigilance and Ethereal Armor. That's pretty good. Turn 1 Ragavan. So I'm just going to look to hold up blocks here. Next turn, obviously, we have Vigilance and safe attacks. And we also drew the Spirit Mantle, so in future turns, opponent's Death Shadow is not going to be able to block us. That's nice. Alright, so opponent fetch shocked the Watery Grave here, then played Dragon's Rage Channeler. Outside of Stubborn Denial, I don't know what they could have. And they also sequenced the Mishra's Bobble funny. I thought they were going for like a Ledger Shredder or something. They could have Stubborn Denial here. I'm just going to play into it. Nah, okay, cool. Start the beats. And no blocks from the opponent. Gearing up to a Giant Shadow. 3 mana. Oh, triple Death Shadow. Holy shit. Let's hit land so we don't all just die. Alright, come on. Time for a Pog draw. Let's fucking go. You love to see it. Perfect damage. Alright, that's got to be about as Pog as possible. Look, I think we're just going to run back the same list. I don't see any other changes I want to make. Alright, for the millionth time this league, we will be mulliganing our hand, and this one is keepable. I'm going to go ahead and bottom a Rancor. Basic swamp into Thoughtseize. Ye dog. Son of a gun. Nothing's better than getting like turn 1 Thoughtseized on a mulligan. I'm just gonna say. Alright, opponent shocks in, and we're just gonna run out our Fluffy Paws. If our opponent has removal, they're just going to hold up anyway because they know Fluffy Paws is in hands. If we get to untap, we can Rancor and then give it Totem Armor. That's not to be though. Unlike Core Spirit Dancer, it's not worth waiting on the draw trigger, really. I don't care about Dragon Rage Channeler's damage, I care about a Death Shadow. Alright, we continue to draw dead, but our opponent's not really threatening us. Also, they must be drawing a lot of gas. Okay, what's for 3 mana? Gigantha to hand. Gotcha. I really don't want to ramp my opponent right now. So we can get our Dryad Arbor to a 4/4. That gets it past Lightning Bolt. So I'm going to go for that. While our opponent is tapped out, perfect opportunity. So obviously still weak to double Lightning Bolt. We really don't have a choice though, but to go for it. Oh, nothing from my opponent to clean up step and discarding? What is going on? Ledger Shredder? Is their hand just full of blue cards? How bizarre. We'll start off with Rancor, Resolves, alright. Yeah, I'll just load up and attack. 11, put our opponent to 5. Likely we face double Death Shadow here. We don't have Totem Armor. Can't help it. Ragavan dashed. Sure, I will block. I've got protection from creatures, so that seems fine to me. I don't know what my opponent's hand was, but this was a very bizarre game. Match number 3, lost the die roll. Hand's missing a second land, but otherwise it's good. Really strong spell suite here. Good protection against Thoughtseize. A Boreal Grazer, so we're versing an Amulet Titan deck or a Titan Shift deck. This has been a bad matchup since pretty much Triad of the Elysian Grove came out and they started refining their lists. Hopefully it's a slow start for him though. I did keep a 7-card hand. Goes ahead and gets the Wrenn and 6. Alright, so it's more of a Titan Shift deck than an Amulet deck. Please, for the love of God, no. Ethereal Armor for most damage. Start attacking. Free chump. On the plus side here, we haven't dealt any damage to ourselves yet. So... Oh, this could be Bring to Light Scape Shift. Omnath. Alright. Fucking hate that card. This mana's not very helpful. Let's kill Wrenn and 6. I want that off the board. Ah, boo. He saw the line. Alright, we'll play our slippery little blocker and see what happens. Expressive Iteration. Alright, so this is like just a disgusting money pile then, by the looks of it. Finds Prismatic Ending. Yuck. Alright, so ending on Ethereal Armor. Another ending on the other Ethereal Armor. Alright, that's pretty frustrating. Good news is he's only got 2 of these left in the deck. Bring to Light for 3 colors. Oh god. Dryad of Elysian Grove. Okay. Plays, bolts. Yep, okay. We're in trouble. The clock is on. I don't know. This could have been a really good game, but getting land screwed as we did definitely has made things pretty difficult. Hitting land is nice though, because now we can get a 3-power creature and start attacking through his blocking. Alright, we just need to survive one more turn, get to our Daybreak Coronet, and then we'll be happy. Thankfully, he didn't attack with Omnath. That was a bit bizarre. End of turn, opponent cracks. Bolts us with Valakut. Alright, so as long as they can't somehow put another land onto the battlefield, and also don't have removal for Spirit Mantle, we get to play Daybreak Coronet and maybe start clawing back. Never mind. Good games. Alright, so Graveyard Hate seems pretty decent here. I'm not huge on Hushbringer. Leyline of Sanctity will stop our opponent from bolting face, but if the game gets to that stage, we're probably losing anyway. We probably want to bring in Force of Vigor for destroying our opponent's Dryad of Elysian Groves. Cards to take out. A little bit more difficult. Maybe Spirit Mantle because it's mana inefficient. We possibly want to bring in Beside You as well. I might take out the Forest for the Beside You. So other 2 cards to take out. Maybe it's just flying. Not super sold on that. I think this is a game where like Fluffy Paws could really, really shine. Let's take out Grifspoon. Alright, we'll get into it. Grifspoon could be wrong. I don't really want to take out anything else though. Great, another mulligan. Cool, we'll keep this one. At least we have good mana. Good tempo, good power on this hand. Our life total does matter, probably more than reshuffling Hyena Umbra. Cool. I'll take a second Ethereal over a Hyena Umbra. Alright, Juicy attacks for 5. Or just Force of Vigor. Cool. Never mind. Juicy attack for 1. That's my fault for getting greedy. I should have played the Rancor there. Fuck. We would have lost the same amount of tempo, but losing to Ethereal where Rancor comes back, big misplay. Alright, I'm pretty close to scooping it. We do have 4 answers in the deck, but that's a massive load of fucking bullshit. Alright, we continue to brick. So that's no good. My assumption is my opponent plays Omnath next turn, and then I'm just going to scoop because we're way too far behind in tempo to beat that kind of card advantage. My opponent's hand also seems very, very top heavy. Opponent end step fetched a basic, so there's a possibility of Blood Moon here too, but that doesn't make a huge amount of sense in a Valakut deck. Opponent cycles Catch for Triome. Alright. Are you doing anything proactive, or am I just going to beat you down over the next 12 turns? Opponent takes a good 10 or 20 seconds to think, and then just plays a Temple Garden. Alright, well, we do find Beside You. I'm going to do it in my opponent's end step. I could be attacking into like a flash creature or something. Okay, we're fine. Dryad of Lycian Grove, sure. Goodbye, Chalice. Valakut trigger. Something good. It's pretty good. Alright, I'm going to set a stop on my opponent's upkeep. I'm going to kill the Dryad of Lycian Grove before he scape shifts. Maybe not. Maybe it's in response to scape shift and I take small amounts of damage in the meantime. Playing out the second Rancor there would be wrong. If we sequenced it correctly, we would have had Ethereal Armor and that was 4 extra damage. Alright, opponent tapping a bunch of mana. This looks like he's about to scape shift and is floating mana. Nope, he's literally playing something. Alright, it's scape shift. That's fine. In response to scape shift triggers, we can then blow up the Dryad of Lycian Grove. Does it enter tapped? Yeah, okay. Enters tapped. No blue mana for counter magic. That's fine. Alright. Kill the Dryad of Lycian Grove in response to 20 triggers? I don't know. A lot of triggers. Ah, rats. He still has enough mountains and kills us. Well, that's a shame. Yeah, hard luck. The Chalice was a beating on tempo. Alright, match number 4. We'll keep this one. We won the die roll this time. A little bit Auralite. I guess we'll try and make it work though. See what our opponent's on. Decide whether or not turn 2 core Spirit Dancer is viable or not. Cavern of Souls. Sliver. Alright, I'm definitely jamming core Spirit Dancer. Alright, my opponent played Darkhark Sliver. All slivers you control have sacrifice of this permanent, gain 3 life. On the off chance we hit like a Daybreak or something, I'm gonna lead on the Rancor here. Damn, I should not have led on land. That was a mistake. Hit Beside You. We could deal with Aether Vial next turn. That's kind of nice. And, you know, attacking for 7 is also very, very nice. End step, opponent vials in the Flying Sliver. Leeching Sliver. Silver. What fucking order is this in? Sliver. God, my eyes are playing tricks on me. Huh? I'm going to go ahead and block. They've got flying. I can't block. Never mind. Definitely worth throwing away that sliver there if given the opportunity. We brick on card draw. That's kind of awkward. Alright, so let's do the oldest trick in the book. Cycle Horizon Canopy. Now Razor Edge Thicket enters untapped. Doesn't really matter. Alright, second main we'll play out the Gladecover Scout, then we can path the Flying Sliver and do double block and kill our opponent on the next attack. Opponent keeps their Vial on 2. Suppose if we did this beginning of combat, we'd lose 1 less life to the leeching trigger. Are they going to give it hexproof? Is that what's happening here? Well, that seems odd. If we double block here, take 5, go to 2. Sure. I think this is fine. Alright, opponent plays out the Unsettled Mariner. Alright, so we've got pro creatures anyway. We'll play out the Spider Umbra, which is free. Go for attacks. Opponent sacking to gain life. And we're 1 damage short of killing them. So does that mean I blocked wrong last turn? Maybe not. I don't know. I'd need to go back and do the math. Opponent with another Unsettled Mariner. Did that without cracking either of their Horizon lands. Oh, they did that in their upkeep. Not bad. Just to prove they already had it. Gotcha. So we fell down slightly behind there. Maybe I should have blocked a little bit earlier. Honestly, I don't see a whole heap that I want. Blue and black until end of turn. Probably Veil of Summer, because they're going to bring in the Sliver where they can sack to destroy an artifact or enchantment. Probably taking out Psydu plus a Spirit Mantle. I think that's correct. This is a pretty good Dryad Arbor hand. There's no Totem Armor though. We can do better. Alright, this is better. Keep. Bottom. This one. Done. Still need a Daybreak. Alright, opponent Cavern and nothing else. We hit Ethereal Armor. Get in for 5. Next turn we can attack for 8. So we have our opponent dead in 3 turns. Short of life gain or interaction of some other description. Oh, I'm glad I double dropped those. Oh my goodness. I was not expecting the Chalice. It's something that Goblins sometimes boards in. But yeah, I'm very happy I sequenced it that way and didn't get greedy. Alright, so opponent brought in the Harmonic Sliver ETB of destroy target artifact or enchantment. Alright, let's attack for 4. He took out 1 Ethereal Armor. Attack for 4, play Core Spirit Dancer. We could Spirit Mantle and put them to 1, but that's not lethal. So let's set up for next turn. Predatory Sliver. ETB. The Cloud Treader Sliver. Another ETB. One gives Flying Haste. Opponent can attack for 6. Leaves 1 back on Chump Block. Well, if I could upkeep, put my Spirit Mantle into play, I would, but just to show that I already have it. Pro creatures, attacks, and that's taking it to a game 3. Alright, let's bring in our Force of Vigor. Beside you, we might want Spirit Mantle, kind of nice now that we know that they're doing that as well. Okay, subboarding became harder. I think we take out both Core Spirit Dancer and Fluffy Paws and brings in Hushbringer. The fact that the Sliver ability is ETB, not a sacrifice, makes Hushbringer better. I thought it was a sacrifice effect. So Hexproof from blue and black is a bit narrow, so we'll take out Veil of Summer. I guess that was a misboard in. If the creature is blue or black, like the Flying Sliver or the Attack Life Loss Trigger Sliver, it will stop the damage from that specific one, but the Hail Mary of Hushbringer is just a bit stronger. I've also taken out a Temple Garden, and I don't really want to take out Spider Umbras or Griftspoons because my opponent has flying creatures. Blocking flying can be important. I might take out one Sentinel's Eyes. This looks pretty good to me. I'm going to go ahead and keep. Alright, so one Vial. Another Bogle. That's not the best one. That was a misclick. Jesus Christ. Oh no. Mouse just went spastic there. Apologies, everyone. I mean, hopefully this doesn't die. We can still like Hushbringer here, which is nice. Opponent misses land drop. Problem with Hushbringer is Chalice is like really good if we go into Hushbringer. Opponent missed a land drop, so I guess we can take a little bit of time to give ourselves assurance against Chalice of the Void. That way we're just not stuck with nothing. Vial's going to take at least one more turn to tick up per 3 for Harmonic Sliver, so... Alright, they find the Mutavault, and they look to play Chalice on 1. We're really lucky they missed that land drop. We got out one less aura than we should have. But in all reality, it's sort of fine. Okay, well, he's going to just block. Loose attack on my part. Loose attack. Fuck. We do still have Spirit Mantle, though, so that's something, but we don't have a very fast clock at this point. Opponent hits their third land. Vial on 3. Brings in one of these. Brings in another. Attacks with Mutavault. We lose a life. Alright, this is okay. Horizon Canopy. Sort of not the best. Gonna leave back blockers for now. End step, we can cycle a Horizon Canopy, look for Daybreak, look for Force of Vigor or Beside You. Opponent flooding the board. Active on Mutavault. I don't know why he's flooding all of these. I guess sorcery speed makes sense when you've got haste. Jesus, it's a lot of damage. If we block this one, gain 2 life. Take 4, go to 5. I think that's fine. Then we stop the triggers. Hey, look, Harmonic Sliver. That would be annoying if he won this flip. Hey, he did not. Sweet. Can I afford to crack Horizon Canopy? I'd have to hit. I don't really like waiting around for my opponent to make bad attacks, so I'll go for it. Fuck, we just like blank, and that's really frustrating. There's the Daybreak. A fair bit late. Block, simultaneous life gain. Alright, we need our opponent not to draw a creature here. Although they got the Mutavault as well. What am I thinking? So we go to exactly 0 and sucks. Definitely sucks. Chalice just too good. That was unlucky. We were close to getting there. Alright, 5th and final match. We won the die roll. We're going to keep this hand and get into the match. It has a very Bogle-inspired avatar here. Quite pretty. Lead on Horizon Canopy. We're not guaranteed to draw a green card next turn, so maybe we'll draw white mana and double aura. Ketra Triumph is a very non-Bogle thing to do, opponent. Alright, we'll attack for 2. Play a Bogle. Look for some tempo next turn. Oh, Bloodstained Mire. Alright, so he just sort of like played that and did nothing. I'm not really sure what to expect from my opponent here. If he's a Thoughtseize deck or something, or not. It could be a Shadow deck. It's likely just like an Uru control deck, right? Omnath control deck? I don't know. I get those two mixed up. I think it's Omnath. One of them's banned. Can you tell I've been away from the game for a minute? Alright, so beginning of combat. Fetch Shock. Beside you on Ethereal Armor. Lame as heck. So now our attack is just like we're hidden like a wet noodle. It has no bite, it has no sting, and our clock has been significantly affected, unfortunately. Expressive Iteration. Scalding Tarn in exile, plays. Well, at least he took a turn off to do that. And not something proactive. Yikes. Look at us go. Dryad Arbor here seems fine. We'll sack the Horizon Canopy. Daybreak? Yes, please. Alright, nice little attack for 7 now. All of a sudden, our clock has returned. Opponent cracks down to 3. So my opponent got another Triumph. Currently, they're missing white. So they've got every colour but white, from what I can see. Dwarven Mine. My opponent is a polymorph deck. Please, for the love of God, no. Please, for the love of God, no. Okay. Archon of Cruelty. Sacrifice a creature. Sorry, Dryad Arbor. Sure. Something relevant. Boo. Well, opponent has to block. They could potentially do all this again. Make us suck another creature, discard another card. Opponent blanks and concedes. You beauty, I'll take that. So Gadok Teague here. Yes. For the love of God, yes. I don't know if I really want too much else. Hushbringer will stop one trigger from Archon. Path seems potentially narrow. My opponent could have Thought Seizers. They didn't show... Like, they showed, like, double Triome, and black was off the second Triome, and then we saw a Steam Vents and a Dwarven Mine. So, I think it's less likely they have Thought Seize effects. Let's take out our Core Spirit Dancers. We'll keep the Fluffy Paws. I love high rolling the Fluffy Paws, or the idea of high rolling the Fluffy Paws. We'll keep this. Not a bad draw. We don't, outside of Daybreak Coronet, we don't have like a good clock, I'd say is the only problem with this. And I'd also say we're a little bit weak to an opponent playing Force of Vigor as well. We also know about main deck Beside You. Look, he's just being so transparent. He's absolutely holding up Beside You here. Alright, we'll play this one. Sure. Alright, and we'll get in there on attacks. Here's Beside You. We'll just go ahead and play another Spider Umbra because he did that in our main phase. He's ramped us up as well. That's kind of nice. Expressive Iteration. So if we hit a land here, we can double Aura next turn. And that's an attack for 7. That's a 2-turn clock. Huge draw. Huge, huge, huge draw. Opponent cracks in response to Spirit Mantle. This in untapped. Counterspell. Spell Pierce. Alright, we'll just resolve the Daybreak instead. Opponent still on a 2-turn clock after the Fetch Shock. Straight away, opponent cracks into Dwarven Mine during his turn. Looks like maybe he's got the Archon. Lame as fuck. Something like Grafdigger's Cage would be really good against my opponent's deck. Just stop these creatures from entering altogether. Kind of like the idea of Core Spirit Dancer, maybe Hushbringer, and then taking out the Spirit Mantles. We should have pretty good ability to race our opponent here. Let's just submit that and get into it. We've got a very creature-heavy deck right now. And yet, no creatures. Dryad Arbor, probably not quick enough. Cool, this is better. Keep. I'm hesitant about bottoming the Windswept Teeth, because we might need to fetch Dryad Arbor to stop an Archon trigger if Hushbringer gets destroyed. Triumph tapped, passing to us. Fuck, that's a dead draw. Play out Hushbringer, attack, cry, all the good stuff. Alright, there's the Explore. Aura, please, for the love of God, give me an aura. I feel like I can play Bogle here reasonably safely. They don't get the ETB off of the Archon because of Hushbringer. They shouldn't have mana for killing Hushbringer plus Archon unless they like invoke a Fury. Oh wow, they just explore. They're still looking for it. They're looking for a fetch land right now. Cool. Oh, Stomping Ground in untapped. Renin 6. That's going to get them their fetch land back. We can kill the Renin 6 though, so they don't get another trigger like that. Yeah, let's go super conservative here. After they get their Archon, we can path it. And then we have lethal damage if they have no other blockers. Interestingly, my opponent does have Blood Crypt. I guess it was the second land they played this game. So there was potential Thoughtseize risk. Could be playing around too much, particularly when we're boarding in 4 creatures. Alright, opponent plays the Saga. Gets a Goblin. Is that really all? What do we find? Gadok Teeg. Honestly, that's pretty darn good. I'm just going to attack my opponent with Hushbringer. If they're slow rolling removal, I don't want to commit extra auras onto Hushbringer, right? We'll get the Rancor back anyway, though. Beside you on Ethereal Armor, sure. Still attacking for 3. Beseiju? Maybe it's Beseiju. I've probably been irritating people all day with that. Alright, so Gadok Teeg, pass back. Teeg should be pretty good. So trigger from Saga. Opponent is likely discarding 2 cards. An Archon and an Arid Mesa. You can pretty much hardcast an Archon, almost. Lightning Bolt. You suck, opponent. I hate you. Expressive Iteration. Wow, they're still looking for it. Wouldn't you Expressive Iteration pre-bolt? Opponent finds Prismari command. You can kill our Hushbringer here. Has to do it this turn though. And kills Hushbringer. Okay. Sure. Treasure token to the side. Attacks, gets a treasure token. Sure. So now we can force lethal on our opponent because he got greedy and attacked with that other creature. And this will work as long as my opponent does not have a Beside You in hand. Otherwise we lose. Force of Vigor. Alright. No, attacking's a mistake. Alright, I've just thrown the game. That's fine. That's fine. We got really close to winning it. If I don't attack there, I keep my Bogle. I can Rancor plus Path. And then I'm really close to getting there. I don't know. That's frustrating. That's a lot of interaction from him. Oh, hold the phone. My opponent has not gone off. We still have a Bogle. He's going for it post-combat. That's kind of smart. Sure. Sure. We could still hit creature and theoretically get there, I guess, but... Cycle 1 Canopy. Find creature. Okay, I guess we continue to play. Maybe I should be pathing to play around like a Spell Pierce or something. Pathing earlier. Sure. Let's get Dryad Arbor. There's the Wrenn and 6. I'm going to start getting some of those lands back. I don't think there's a Triome in the graveyard though, but Beside You is going to be annoying. Jesus. What fun and interactive Magic we have here. What do we hit? Nice dead card. I am going to look to attack my opponent's Wrenn and 6 here. Hopefully get rid of this Kiki Reflection. Opponent knows the interaction and we now lose our Rancor. That sucks. I was intentionally playing into that because I don't think we win now that he's had it. Looks like he's going for it again. Cool. We'll concede there. Okay, so the deck didn't run super well. Let me take that back. The deck was competitive. We didn't get a super good result. There are a couple of misplays from me, but also things our opponents are doing are just pretty strong and gross. It could still be that the deck's not in a good enough position to run at the moment. There could be potential to run like a Silhana Ledgewalker instead of these payoff creatures. Maybe we'd see more success if we did that, off of mulliganing a little bit less. Other than that, I think the Aura base was pretty good. We came up against one Ragavan deck, and I think we won. At least we won a match. With the sideboard, I'm not super sold on Veil of Summer from what I've seen here. I think everything else is pretty well placed. Veil of Summer obviously tech against something like Dress Down. There's potential that we, instead of Veil of Summer, look at like Heroic Intervention or something instead. It's a mana more expensive, but it's like also better against cards like Blast Zone. That's going to be it for me today, guys. I don't know if I'm going to continue doing a heap of Modern content. I might try out some Pauper content and see if I enjoy that a little bit more. Hopefully I'll have a little bit more time to put out content, at least in the short term, as I won't be playing soccer and potentially won't be working for a little while after injuring my knee at soccer on the weekend. So yeah, that's it from me. Hope to see you guys for the next video. Until then, have a great day.